Happy New Year. I hope you had an incredible holiday. Michael and the kids and I went to Denmark. That's a whole nother podcast episode I'll be sharing with you soon. But I want to take a second as we start this new year. If you're anything like me, you start the new year with a bunch of goals and aspirations. You see a big picture and you put your foot down on the gas pedal and you just go. But I've learned, maybe as I get a little bit older, how important it is to reflect on that previous year. To me, every year is another chapter in the book. And some years are full of great success and accomplishments, and other years are really hard. Other years you are stretched beyond what you thought was humanly possible. But regardless of what year you had last year, I truly believe every chapter is divinely setting us up for what's next, like the next chapter in the story. So whether you've had a year that was challenging and draining and really made you think twice about some things, or you've had a year where you've stepped into incredible abundance and life seems to be in flow, the next chapter, you just never know what it will bring, do you? I think we've learned that the last couple of years. You never know what the next chapter will bring. So as you head into this new year, take a second and think about, what did you go through last year? What were your key discoveries about yourself? What did you overcome? What did you learn? When I look back at the last year, oh my goodness. Of course, I had Landon. We had our son in 2020. We're planning to get married and had to postpone that to 2022. So last year, I got married. We went on a beautiful honeymoon in Jamaica. We went to a place called Golden Eye Resort. And I will tell you, when we first landed, I wasn't so sure because you feel like you're almost on a secluded island by yourself. But with how much Michael and I had been pushing and just like working so hard, it was exactly what the doctor ordered. There was a lagoon we swam in every day. And even though it was almost at capacity, you felt like you were the only one there. It was remarkable. So if you have a chance, go to the Golden Eye Resort in Jamaica. The minute we touched down from the honeymoon, we packed up our current home and moved as we bought a new house, and we moved our family from Hermosa Beach, California, one beach city to the next, to Carlsbad. And everyone asked me, Keri, what prompted the move? I thought you loved the South Bay. I do love the South Bay, but we were looking for more space. We were looking for a backyard for the kids to play in, a room for each one of them to have. They've been sharing a room. So it was a really big year. We launched Brilliant as a hybrid event for the first time, which meant we had people with us in person and virtually. And on top of it all, we doubled our revenue. We became a multi seven-figure business this year. So many amazing things. And, as I look forward into 2022, we want to shift the model. One of my biggest, I want to say, ongoing recordings last year was, I need more space. I need more space. That to me, success isn't about making money and not having the space or the time freedom to enjoy it. I don't think that's why we start our businesses ever. And yet it's really easy to find ourselves in that place. And I'm so grateful that I have built a team that can run programs without me. I was able to take 2 weeks off and really like be at my honeymoon and get into this new house. But as you're looking at your goals, whether it be financially, whether it be a new home for yourself, like, what quality of life do you want to have? And what are you willing to maybe sometimes give up to get there? And who do you need to become to make that happen for yourself? I recently had a meeting with my operations manager. She's like, wow, Keri, you invested a lot in yourself last year. In fact, it was over six figures in personal development, growth, masterminds, coaches. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. And, for you, you might be thinking, wow, Keri, how could you ever invest that much? But as I look back at my business, I've always invested in myself. And I will say that has been a huge catalyst to growing inspired living. So if you're in a place right now where you really want to grow and you feel just so burnt out on trying to do it on your own, I'm going to really encourage you that you stop trying to do it on your own. That for me, looking back at the last 10 years, the main drivers to my growth have been continued investment in myself. And it didn't start at six figures. It started at, maybe a couple grand a month for a really great business coach. And then it was 4,000 a month and 5,000 a month. And then you joined the 60,000 mastermind. So what I've learned is that the more I invest in myself, the more I am able to invest in my business because I show up so much differently. I'm certainly not the same Keri that started Inspired Living in 2011. And I think that if you're looking to really grow a significant brand, you want to create legacy, you want to generate wealth, you got to look in the mirror first. So as you step into this new year and this new chapter and new possibility, like what are you going to be investing in? Who do you need to become? What do you need to learn? Whether it's a tactical skill or maybe it's a mindset. Maybe you're having issues around money. Maybe it's leadership. Being a business owner is not easy. And as you grow and you bring on new team, it's a different beast. Like when we start out as solopreneurs, we're managing ourselves, and then we manage a part-time contractor, and then we bring on employees. And you get to evolve and grow as you step into those different levels of leadership within your organization. So think about this year. What would be the next level of investment? And it might be like you're ready to join the Inspired Living family. Like you need visibility, you need structure, you need systems, you need automation, you need, quite frankly, to stop being the best kept secret and you are committed to making a bigger difference. If that's the case, reach out to us. Reach out to hello@Inspired Living TV and let's book a call and let's see how we can support you. It might be investing in your relationship, your marriage, or your partnership. It might be investing your money, literally learning how to invest your money. There's so many different areas. It might be personal growth and development. It might be looking at those limiting beliefs that are holding you back from really stepping into your dream. So again, the next chapter is up to you. And that's what I love about every year. It feels like a reset that we can go, oh my gosh, this is what happened last year. We can kind of wipe that board clean without negating the experience and say, what do I want to create this year? So I will say the energy of investing in yourself and looking at why you want to do what you're doing. Like, what's the joy? What's the big why? And it might be time to raise your prices. It might be time to look at moving from doing things one on one to group. It might be time to leverage and do something new. And I will say, what has allowed Inspired Living to grow so much over the last couple of years, this is kind of my second point, is being adaptable. I think as an entrepreneur, we get used to doing things a certain way. And that certain way has worked. Like for 8 years, I did our 2-day on camera training as our main signature event. Like people flew in from all over. It was high ticket. It was high touch. We shot their videos for their website. And then I realized that not only required me, we really couldn't scale that because I can't take more than 6 or 7 people in that training because of the level of intensity that of coaching and production and hair and makeup and all that. So we created our signature course, Broadcast Your Brilliance, and my head coach, Elizabeth Walker, runs that course along with myself and other coaches. But I will say the big shift was, how do we become more adaptable? How do we reach more people? How can we scale our message to make a greater impact and in return generate more revenue? So it might be time to look at your model and ask yourself, is this model serving my greatest and highest good? Is it serving my clients' greatest and highest good? As we're moving into this new year, we have a model that's worked very well for us. Again, it's helped us generate multiple 7 figures, which I'm so proud of and excited about. But I still feel like we're just getting started. And it's not the money that drives me, it's the impact. It's hearing you say, oh my God, Keri, that masterclass changed my life. Or going through Broadcast Your Brilliance completely changed my business trajectory. I want more of that. So we're looking at changing things up. And I'm going to tell you, it is scary. It is scary. I have invested so much in team, hiring more employees, hiring more consultants, and hiring coaches for myself. And for me, I'm just a big proponent of being in a mastermind or a group of other successful men and women because, as Jim Rohn says, you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most. So it might be time to grow that circumference, right? Grow that circle. But I will say that as we look at the growth of our brand, and I hope you're doing this now as you're stepping into the new year, like what's your model? What's working? What's not working? Can you scale it so it doesn't require you? And honestly, most people build their businesses all on them. They're running all their programs, they're the face, they're the brand, they're doing all the media, and then they find that they might be generating six figures, but they're just beat. They are exhausted. They are, having, adrenaline fatigue, and, their hormones are all out of whack. And, it's like, what is it costing you? So look at how can you scale and grow without it requiring more of you? And it might be time just to shift from doing something one-on-one to virtual. It might be time to launch some sort of online training or program or webinar or masterclass. So I want you to think about how can you get your message out and serve more people in a way that doesn't burn you out. So being adaptable. When everything went online, a lot of people disappeared, and we doubled down on advertising, on marketing, on showing up. And it was a lot for me and the team, and that's why we're reassessing what we're doing moving forward, just due to bandwidth. I don't want to burn out my entire team, but also like what's going to get you to the next thing. And I will say, I am a quick start. I have ideas all the time, like over here, over there. And as I built Inspired Living, I have learned to have like a core strategy, like the thing that we're feeding, the thing that's working, the thing we're investing the most in. And I remember when I first started doing this, investing in ads scared the crap out of me. And it maybe started at 1,000 and then it was 5,000. And I have friends that are investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in ads. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And now we're there, right? So I just want to remind you, it starts with just taking the next step. It's baby steps. That it's so easy to look at what everyone else is doing and all the, insta success it seems to be. And that's not real. It's not life. I'll tell you what, I usually work from 10 to 5. After 5, I am mom. We are feeding kids. I am crashing and burning at 9 o'clock to get up the next day. And I'm grateful that I really love what I do, and I'm energized by my team and, really serving more people. But again, the conversation I had all last year was I need more space. I need more space in my calendar. I need more space to enjoy. And that is my intention for 2022. My friend Stacey Tuschel on her recent podcast asked me, Keri, what does success look like to you? And I said, more time, more time for, me to make sure I'm getting my workouts in, that I'm a good mom. But I want to remind you too that, doing it all and being it all is not a real life thing. That there are different times in our lives requires different focus. Back in 2017, which wasn't that long ago, I was a single mom running a multi six-figure business on my own with no family around me. And then I want to say I manifested Michael. I was cleaning out, this is my new office here, and I was cleaning out a drawer, and there was an old journal and nothing was in it. The whole thing was blank except one insert that I put in there. And it was in, I think it was June of 2017. And I put in, I am attracting my ideal partner, someone that loves and supports me, that's going to be a great dad. And I just found it. And it brought me to tears because it was that year in November that Michael and I met. So going back to the power of intention, what you think about, you bring about. What are the things that you're saying, maybe in your subconscious, that are driving results in your life right now? Is it time to let go of a relationship that isn't serving you? Is it time to really step in to, who you want to be and what you want to do, instead of waiting for permission, waiting for the right time, waiting for validation? If we waited, right, for someone to crown us, worthy or the expert or good enough, most people would never pursue anything. So I just really want to encourage you to grab reign of your dreams, to give yourself permission to dream big, to trust that your vision that God has put on your heart is your destiny, and that the more you invest in that vision and yourself to become the person to bring that to life, the more it's going to show up for you. making sure you surround yourself with other people that will lift you up because being an entrepreneur is not easy. Making sure you have time for yourself and that you are doing things that are scalable and leverageable. It's the only way you can grow a multi-seven-figure business. You can't do it on your own, and that might not even be what you want, right? I was just interviewing Sammy Wonder, who's coming out, and she's like, different level, different devil. And I love that because as you grow your business, there's just another challenge around the corner. There's another story you're writing, right? And so you have to be willing to be adaptable to change and pivot and shift what you're doing to meet what's happening in the marketplace. So that is my hope and my prayer for you going into this new year, that you take some of these things that I've looked at and learned over the last 10 years with Inspired Living, and you just take the next step. You don't have to know all that's laid out in front of you. In fact, oftentimes, it's so much greater than we can ever dream. But you have to have faith, you have to trust yourself, and you have to be willing to take the next step. So I would love to know, what is that next step for you? Will you please share it with me so I can lift that up and send you good vibes and energy? What is that next step for you this year? What do you want to achieve? Please come share it with me on social, post it here on the vlog. And if you know of someone that needs to hear this message, please share it. This is just me coming to you right now from a year that was a bit of a whirlwind, and I'm so grateful for all the life experiences. And it's so easy just to look at what's next. So take a deep breath with me, my friend. Welcome to the new year, new opportunities, and I'd love to know what's next for you.
You've just heard another uplifting episode of Inspired Living with Keri Murphy, the podcast. I hope you loved it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. And if you'd like to know more about Inspired Living or to get your hands on many of our awesome free resources, such as the Be Studio Ready Guide, simply visit us at inspiredliving.tv/podcast. Remember, your vision is your destiny, and we're here to help you bring it to life. Join me again next week for another extraordinary episode.